Good morning, and this is Damien Calment, and this is Now with Damien Calment, our Sunday morning live broadcast that we do every Sunday at 7 a.m. and is broadcast around the world on different media, television, other things. As most of you know, I lost my little girl this last Sunday, my companion of 11 years. And today my talk is going to be on what my dog taught me about loving and living. So today we're going to honor Missy. This is Missy. You know, M.K. Clinton said, "The world would be a nicer place if everyone had the ability to love as unconditionally as a dog." I think that's pretty much true. So, what if we paid more attention and we realized that dogs are spiritual gurus that guide us on a path of enlightenment? You know, in the Bible, Jesus talks about, and the lamb shall lay down with the lion. And in that talk, it is about that the essence, the spirit guides that we have in our life often come in different forms. Spirit knows no particular form. So spirit can come to us in any type of form. Example, the burning bush, okay? Example, the dove, okay? I know some people's spirit forms are the eagle. Some are tigers. Missy was my spirit form, my guru that led me on the path of enlightenment. And today, we honor her. And you wonder what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this little song that I'm honoring her with today. "11 years. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine." Oh, that was her way. "You always walked a step behind, 'cause I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one, my little girl, with so much strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And you're everything I'd like to be. And I can fly higher, so much higher than an eagle. Because, little girl, you're still the wind beneath my wings. You're the wind beneath my wings." So over 11 years ago, Missy came into my life. It took them 3 weeks to catch her, and she was wild, and I was wild. I never had a dog before. I have said publicly I've had 2-legged pets before that cost me a lot of money, but I've never had a dog before, and I didn't want a dog. I didn't know anything about dogs. But when they brought her to me, I kept her for the weekend and I gave him back to them. And they said, I called, they said, we're going to have to take her to the shelter because she's unmanageable completely. And that Thursday of that week, I called the people and I said, I'm coming to get her on Sunday. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know anything. I just know we're going to do it and we're going to figure it out. And I knew that I was making a commitment. And I wasn't good at commitments, because I knew what it was for me to be thrown away as a child, and I wasn't going to try her for just a year or so, and then if it wasn't convenient to toss her away, no. I knew that with us, it was till one of us was gonna die, that we were life partners. We were committed to one another. So she's my companion for 11 years. She reminded me what life is all about. And you know, when you're a senior person, sometimes people that aren't seniors look at people with dogs and they go, oh, that crazy cat lady, okay, or that old man with the dog. Remember, that's their partner. They don't have a human partner, or sometimes I didn't have a human family. All my family died eons ago. And when Missy died last Sunday, I've never been ever as heartbroken as I've been over this. But I also understand that everything in life is a lesson. Every single experience is a lesson. We don't always understand a dog, how it loves like it does. And what I do know is that Missy had so much to teach me about love and so much about living. You know, each dog is born with a blank slate. And when we show aggression, the dog learns anger. When we show praise, our dog learns confidence, just like we do, right? And when we show affection, our dog learns love. So what are some of the things I learned from Missy? I learned to accept myself. You know, dogs, they come in all shapes, all sizes, all colors, right? They're not unhappy with their appearance. They appreciate what's been given them, and they happily live with whatever's been given them. Fuzzy hair, curly hair, tall, you know. But look at us, what about you? What about me? We come in all shapes and sizes, and most of the time, oh, I wish I had a bigger butt. I wish I had bigger titties. I wish I had a smaller butt. Oh, my nose is crooked. Oh, you know what? I look too yada, 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 yada. We wish that we looked a certain way, and so we try to change our appearance or our personality. What if we imitate our dog and we begin to love our unique features? The gift that you are to the universe, begin to see that gift and begin to love that gift just like Missy loved who she was. Begin to love everything about yourself. And when you do, believe me, it will give you an instant peace of mind. Another thing I learned from Missy is be yourself. You know, if you have a pet, just like her, she loved being herself. She didn't try to be anybody else. She didn't try to be our favorite friend. Her boyfriend is a big chocolate lab, Chip. She didn't try to be Chip. She's just Missy. Missy didn't care what you thought about her. She didn't care what other people thought about her. She didn't care what other pets around her think. When she would go to the dog park and she'd walk up to the pets in the dog park, she'd walk up, hold her head up high, and announce that she was here. Not in a egotistical way, but expressing her voice that, hey, I have value and I'm present. I learned from her, be yourself, know your worth, know your value. Do not let anybody put you down. And when she walked into a room, you knew she was in the room. That's one of the things that made her so adorable. Pretending to be something else will never make you happy. I learned from her to start loving my personality. That's a big one. 11 years in training. I learned from her what it's like to love unconditionally. True love is unconditional. When you really love someone, now that doesn't mean you have to live with them, okay? It's a big difference. When you truly love somebody, you love them no matter how they look, no matter what kind of car they have, or if they have a car at all, or if they're walking or on a bike or whatever, no matter what their house looks like. My grandma used to say, I'd rather live in a tent with somebody I love than a mansion with somebody I didn't. And you know what? I've lived in both, and I totally agree. So unconditional love is no matter whether you're having a good hair day, a bad hair day, no matter how rough life gets. That's exactly how Missy loved me. You know, she and I were homeless at different times. You all know me. You hear me all over the country. And I'm an open book about being homeless at different times. And, you know, we've made $1 million and we've had not a penny in our pocket. And she loved me just as much regardless. So my question to you is, the people in your life, how much do you love them? What's it based on? Is it based on stuff or what they do, don't do, da, 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 da? How much love and warmth do you show and kindness to the people that are close to you? Do you know, one of my teachers, Wayne Dyer, used to say, if you have a choice to be right or kind, choose kindness. And I agree with that. So show your love and appreciation on a regular basis. Missy, wild Missy. Wild Missy with the past. She taught me, leave the past in the past. Let me say that again. Leave the past in the past. Sometimes mentally the past is a good place for you to visit just as a point of reference. But the past does not define you. It is past. One of the wonderful things about Missy, or any dog, is no matter how much suffering or how much abuse that they've gone through, they can be rehabilitated with just a little bit of loving care. Dogs aren't bitter or angry about what happened before. Dogs can take and put horrible things that happened in the past behind them and still bounce back and live a happy life. It's the ability to live the past in the past that make dogs so amazing. Now, in 2005, when my business manager bankrupted me, took my home, took my car, and I ended up sleeping in doorways in Hollywood. Brought a lot of anger, a lot of bitterness, a lot of resentment. And you know, Course in Miracles says this, our job is not to seek for love. Our job is to seek to remove all barriers and blockages that keep us from knowing, giving and receiving love. And one of the things that Missy helped me to do and learn is how to rid the unforgiveness, how to rid the resentment, so that I could allow the godness, the expression of love to begin to radiate in my life. And that meant leaving the past in the past. And when I talk about it now, it's only on a point of reference. It isn't a point of being victimized. And Missy taught me about forgiveness. Think about this. You could holler at anybody. I never hollered at Missy, okay? I got a lesson early on that. I don't raise my voice, any period. I don't raise my voice at you. I don't raise my voice at myself. That's not who I am. One time, yes. But picture somebody going to their dog. Yeah, 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 yeah. And what happens? You make the dog a little unhappy. But hey, look around. 5 minutes later, the dog's already back, happy in a few moments, even after you've scolded them. Can I ask you a question? What about you? What about you? Do you hold on to hard feelings for a long time when somebody's hurt you? Only you know that. You have two options: hold grudges or forgive. Now, don't get me wrong. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget. You're stupid if you do that. Forgiveness means you learned the lesson and you move on. It also means you release them. Because as long as you don't forgive, they still have control over you. Consider this, that holding on to hard feelings can weigh you down emotionally, and it's bad for your physical health. It's a lot more pleasurable to be able to release it and forgive and let them go and choose to be happy and choose to forgive. And today I choose to live life in a beautiful way. You say, yeah, sounds good. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Choose to forgive. That's what she taught me. She also taught me to show compassion. Now, last Sunday, my talk was the gift of compassion. And little did I know that right after my talk, I would be rushing her to the hospital. And remember, I always talk about life lessons. Everything in life is a lesson. We're the one that judges it good or bad, okay? But everything is a lesson. And one of the things that I've learned through the passing of my little girl that I didn't know before is that it is in sadness that we learn a deeper level of compassion. You may not understand that. If you ever haven't experienced it, you will understand it. You choose not to go through it, but you choose to grow through it. So when you're having a bad day and the tears are running down your face, let me give you an example. Some of you think that I kind of walk on water, but I honestly don't. We were living out of a storage unit for a while, and it wasn't pleasant. And I'm trying to encourage myself with my motivational talks that I do. In fact, some of the greatest writings that I did was during the time when we were homeless at that time. But there are times that the tears are running down my face. And who comes and sits in my lap? Little girl. She's the first one to comfort and show compassion. First one. She's the one to remind me that everyone is going through something. Everyone's going through something. Don't be so self-absorbed and so self-centered that I can't be aware and be there for people that are going through something also, if I can be. Little girl taught me how to be more present. Eckhart Tolle talks about living in the now. Wow, this was a huge lesson for me because I'm always planning or thinking to be back and forth, right? She taught me be more present. Literally, be more present right now. Be in the now. She taught me how to be mindful. Mindfulness. I believe that dogs are real true masters of the art of mindfulness. They inspire us to fully take each moment right now. Now, mindfulness is when a negative thought creeps in, and they do with all of us, believe me, developing the ability to shift that into a positive thought. You say, oh my God, how you do that? I've taught this before to you, but I'm going to say it again. Yes, I have negative thoughts that happen. And when they do, out loud, I say, delete, delete, delete. And then out of my mouth, I create a positive thought, a positive affirmation to replace that one. You say, what if it comes again? Delete, delete, delete. I can't tell you how many times the little girl sat on the couch and watched me dance around. Delete, delete, delete. You say, how long do you do it? Till you get it right. Till you get it right. If it takes you a half an hour, hey, if it takes you 5 minutes, if it takes you all day doing it. But you do it until it works. She taught me how to express gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is the highest form that we can come to. We are vibrational. Life is about vibrations. I talk about this all the time, and about frequencies. Gratitude is the highest frequency. Living in gratitude. You know, when we talk about gratitude, we say such things as, I am grateful. I am, okay? The I amness of living grateful, period. That when we live in an attitude of gratefulness, we're focusing on the positive. We're focusing on what we have rather than what we don't have. Do you ever see, I never saw Missy focus on what she didn't have. She was always grateful for what she did have. And I say it this way, she always reminded me to focus on the positive, P-A-W-S-I-T-I-V-E, positive, little humor there, okay? Even if it was just something small that brought us joy, she taught me how to have faith. I think that dogs actually understand the meaning of keeping the faith. They don't get discouraged when things aren't going their way. You know, when I couldn't figure things out for us and I wasn't sure how long we were going to be on the street, I'm not sure, I don't know how to do an EBT card. I know that we're not going to beg because there's a scripture in the Bible that says the righteous have never been forsaken or his seed out begging for bread. So I know panhandling and begging for bread are totally out of the question. So it's like, okay, God, I'm having faith that you're going to manifest something here, but it didn't always look like what I thought it would. She and me, learned what it really was like to give us this day our daily bread. But if it didn't come in our timetable, do you think that she got discouraged? She just had faith it was going to happen. Little girl, she never judged anybody based on their skin color, their sexual orientation, their gender, or if they were gender or gender fluid. You know what? Little girls, color blindness to the shades of the color of the other dogs at the dog park. She didn't care. Red and yellow, black and white, they were precious in her sight. She didn't care big, tall, small, whatever shade it was. She relied on the personality and action traits. She didn't judge. Can I ask you a question? Take a little inventory. I learned from her. Still learning from her. She's still my spirit guide. She's still my teacher, leading me on the path of enlightenment. Sometimes I can hear her little bark going, don't judge that now. Do not judge. You know better. And last, my little baby girl. She taught me how to listen. Yeah, we know it all, don't we? We can talk a good talk. We need to shut up. Isn't it incredible how a dog would just sit there? You can tell your heartbreak to, you can tell your stories to, you can tell your bitches to, you can go on, and they'll just sit there and not say a word back, and it's so comforting. So what would happen? I'm talking to the choir here right now. What would happen if instead of engaging in some of the conversations we think we have to engage in, put our 2 cents in, what would happen if we simply just sat there and listened? And in that listening, we took the person in our spirit hand, held them in our heart like this, asking the Creator, the God of the universe, to bring healing to them in that area. We didn't have to spout off something that we thought we knew or didn't know. Just listen. Listening's a lost art, folks. People don't listen to one another. People talk at each other. They don't even have conversations. They talk at. She taught me how to listen. You know, I'm going to say it this way. Here's what she really taught me. Life is about picking up shit. I said it. It's either your own or somebody else's. And when we get that as a fact, some sort of shit we're picking up, either ours or somebody else's, then we begin to just see it in a different way. It reminds us that even though we're growing through a certain routine, that we need to always stop and appreciate parts of our life and begin to listen. One of my teachers, and I close with this, Marianne Williamson, and I'm always quoting her on, it's not that we think that, what is it? It's not that we think that we're inadequate. It's that our light that scares us, not that we think that we're inadequate. But a part of that is playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about playing small so that other people will not feel insecure. Little girl did not play small so other people wouldn't feel bad. She taught me, teaching me still, don't play small. Don't play small and diminish who you are so that other people will feel good. Play big. Connect with the universe. Connect with one another. Be open. Let your heart be open. Let your heart be open and let your heart be broken. Because it is in the brokenness and it is in the cracks in our life that the light shines in. So this morning I have dedicated this program to my lovely Missy. And yes, as I sang earlier, she is still the wind beneath my wings. My heart is broken. I'm grieving still. It's a process I've not experienced before. I'm grateful for everything. Grateful that 11 years we've had together as companions. Grateful that she has been there to teach me to be the expression of love on the planet, to be the expression to you. I love you guys. That's why I do this. I will see you next Sunday. As I say every Sunday, kindness. Kindness, my friends, is the language that the deaf can hear, the language the blind can see. She was kindness personified. Be kind to yourself and to others.